It's Sunday evening and the boat bit me. As you can tell, this is one of those, I don't know, sanitary shop towels that you put on your head when you're bleeding because the boat bit you. I was trying to finish up tabbing in an area. I actually kept wiping the blood off of my face so that I could do that. Oh well, you know, it's a girl. So I'll show you what we got done. I'm not going to get in there. Some of this is still wet or hasn't catalyzed yet or fired off, whatever you want to say. Anyhow, I've got the front bulkhead tabbed in, at least one layer, and I've done the same thing on the back down here at the transom. So really the only thing we got to do is add another layer of tabbing and then go ahead and put the motor mount in. You can kind of see the outline of where the old one was. The new one will go about 11-12 inches further forward. So that's the next thing I need to do, but it's 7:30 on Sunday night, so that'll have to wait. Been working on the motor mount tonight. Took some measurements in the boat and on the two motors. I figured out the new 6 cylinders 8 3/4 of an inch longer than the old 4-cylinder. So the engine mount has to move forward and it tapers down as you go further forward in the center pod. So I had to find that new center line and then measure up 3 3/4 of an inch, which will be the height of the new motor mount, and then measure the width, which I wrote down. I think it's 14 3/4, and then I measured the width at the bottom, which is 9 inches. So right now all I'm doing is laying that out. I'm using a combination square to lay out the height, and basically I'm just laying it out from the top down. A little tri-square works great for this kind of stuff. This is like a cheap plastic one. I can't find my good one, but anyhow, it works good enough for this. Now all I need to do is measure 4.5 inches from the center along this line, and I know where the bottom is. Then I'll come up to the top from the center line and take my 14 3/4 or whatever it is and divide it in half, measure it out, and then I can figure out where the angles are and basically cut this piece out, drop it in, tab it in place. Then once we have it in place, somewhere in it, probably in the center, we'll go ahead and drill out a hole using hole saw, and that's how we'll get the C-cast in there after it's tabbed in. So go ahead and do the rest of that. And it's been a long day. Had to go work on my boat dock at the lake. Spent all day either in the car or floating around a flooded lake, trying to make sure my dock wasn't going to float off. So I think I'm going to do this and then call it a day. Hopefully tomorrow night I can get this cut out, tabbed in, and finish up the tabbing on the forward bulkhead and the transom, and we'll be ready to go do the C-cast. Okay, I couldn't stand it. Went ahead and cut out the motor mount. A couple things to note. You'll notice that, I don't know if you can tell from this angle, but it's a little bit shorter than the one next to it. And the reason why is we still have several layers of 1708 to put across the top to tab it in, because I'm going to go from one side to the other so that I keep a consistent thickness all the way across the top to keep it flat. The old one's actually kind of lumpy looking. I don't know if you can see that, but anyhow, I'm going to try to do a better job tabbing it in so that we have a good surface for the motor mount. The second thing is I can always go up easy. Going down is going to be hard, so I'd rather have it too low than too high. My theory is that the height of the motor mount actually needs to be exactly the same, even though it's moved forward, but I don't know that 100% yet. So once we get the motor in, we can figure that out for sure, but like I said, I'd rather have it too short than too high. So I think that is it for tonight. I really don't feel like mixing up the glass and cutting out the tabbing, so we'll do that tomorrow night.